Our engineer, and Jeff Ball will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Joey?
Good morning. Last night I was reading the Bible, and James 4:14 was just on my mind. And I did not know I was going to be standing here looking at this morning. So I'm a little emotional, but James 4:14 basically says, we are just here for a mist, just a vapor. Goes further on to say that just be sure we're doing the Lord's work in everything we do. And so that's my prayer today, is just make sure we're doing the Lord's work in everything we do. Because you never know what tomorrow's going to bring. It's really hit me last night. I got a text last night about, and y'all know, one of my area 200 guys passed away last night. And so, it was just on my heart, and I come here this morning and I see this. So I say all that just to say, just bow with me in prayer. Thank you. Lord, just come together in peace. Lord, we just thank you so much for what you do, Lord, and just know that that we just give all this over to you, and we just ask for discernment and guidance, Lord, for us to make these best decisions in this meeting today, Lord, and just that everything we do for you. All this we give thanks in your name. Amen.
Amen. Y'all please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thanks, Jeff. Thank y'all. We've got some presentations and some recognition that we need to do, and if we may break from the agenda just a little bit in respect to everybody's time. Wayne, if you would lead us forward, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good morning, Commissioners. The first two items on the agenda are the adoption of the regular meeting minutes from July 20th, 2021.
Chairman, I make a motion we adopt the minutes.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to adopt the minutes. Any further comments or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. It's unanimous. Yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman, next is the July 22nd, 2021 special meeting budget deliberation minutes.
I make a motion we adopt those.
Got a motion and a second. Any comments or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. It's unanimous. Yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman, if it's okay, we'd like to go down to the presentations now.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to request Major Milton come forward and begin the presentation.
All right. Yeah. Like I said, I've never felt so safe in all my life.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for allowing us to come forward and recognize some of our finest. Under normal circumstances, Sheriff Mack would be standing here probably saying this a lot more elegant than I would. As you know, he's ill and could not be here, and I know that he's watching, but he'd do anything to be able to be here to do this presentation today. I know that he's watching, and I'll do everything I can to represent him well. We have two deputies that we plan to recognize this morning. The first is Deputy Sidney Whitworth. Let us reflect on an incident that happened in the Fort Morgan community, June 6, 2021. Deputy Whitworth, Deputy Smith responded to a call of swimmers in distress. On arrival at the scene, both deputies quickly realized there were in fact multiple lives in danger. Without hesitation, both entered the Gulf waters to assist these swimmers, putting their lives in harm's way. As a result of their bravery, a number of lives were saved that day. Deputy Whitworth and Deputy Smith entered the Gulf that day to save family members, and that's exactly what they did. There's a proud tradition here in Baldwin County. No matter if you live here or if you visit here for a day or a week, while you're here, you're a citizen of this county, which makes you family. If it were not for their actions, the actions of Deputy Whitworth and Smith, multiple family members would have not made it that day. Deputy Whitworth, for your courageous acts and bravery, I commend you. Can you join me at the podium? Deputy Whitworth, for your heroism in connection to placing her own life at risk to rescue distressed swimmers in the Gulf on June 6, 2021. Her actions reveal her bravery, courage, and dedication to duty under extreme conditions. Presented this third day of August, 2021. Congratulations. Want to take a picture? The Lifesaver Award, presented to Deputy Sidney Whitworth for immediate and selfless actions directly resulting in saving lives of distressed swimmers in the Gulf of Mexico, June 6, 2021. Without her decisive and direct actions, there would have been further tragic loss of human life. Presented August 3, 2021. Congratulations. I believe we have a resolution.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Commissioner Baldwin.
We go down.
A resolution commending Deputy Sidney Whitworth for her heroic efforts during the June 6, 2021 emergency event with swimmers in distress at a Fort Morgan beach in Baldwin County, Alabama. Whereas, in a desire to recognize distinguished public service, the Baldwin County Commission gratefully commends Deputy Sidney Whitworth for her acts of heroism and selfless assisting citizens in her community during an emergency event. And whereas Deputy Whitworth is a 7-year law enforcement veteran and has served with the Baldwin County Sheriff's Office since 2018, beginning her service as a school resource officer. And whereas Deputy Whitworth was assigned to the Baldwin County Sheriff's Office Coastal Patrol Unit on March 1st, 2021. Whereas during the recent event, June 6, 2021, emergency event in Baldwin County, Deputy Whitworth responded to a call of swimmers in distress at Fort Morgan Beach, and without any thought of her own safety, and entered the tumultuous waters and saved a swimmer from near drowning and death. Now therefore, be it resolved by the Baldwin County Commission and regular session assembled that we hereby gratefully commend and publicly recognize Deputy Sidney Whitworth, who during the June 6, 2021 emergency event selflessly risked her own life to help save the lives of others. And be it further resolved that a copy of this resolution recorded in the official minutes of this honorable county governing body and embodied as Resolution 2021-088 of the Baldwin County Commission be conveyed to Deputy Whitworth in sincere praise for her distinguished public service as well as her heroic actions.
Let's get a quick picture with her if you don't mind. Yes. I'd like to ask Major Steve Arthur to join me here at the podium.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I have the distinct privilege, Major Milton got with me yesterday and asked me to be a part of this presentation this morning, so it's my honor to be here. I wasn't as smart as he was. I didn't bring anything prepared, so I'm going to speak to you a little bit off the cuff and out of my heart this morning. And I just wanted to say that I had the distinct pleasure of working with Bill in criminal investigations for CID about 5 or 6 years ago. And he come to me and we were working together, and he wanted to be a part of the SWAT team, which I was at that time the commander of. And I thought he would be asking to just kind of put him on the team. And he said, no, I want to try out. And he did. He went through all the physical standards, all the firearms training, the interviews, and was selected to be a part of the team. And we've all heard the cliche, and we've seen it on TV 1,000 times, where first responders are the ones that are running to the disaster instead of away from the disaster. And I was not present when this happened with Bill and Sydney. I was out of town at the time. But I envision, and I think I know what happened is that people saw what was going on in the Gulf, and they called 911, and many people were standing on the beach that day pointing, somebody help them, somebody rescue those people. But nobody entered the water except for Bill and Sydney. And they did save lives that day. And to me, being in law enforcement for almost 47 years, this man and that woman are true heroes. And it's not a word that I throw around very easily. So Bill exemplifies what a first responder was and is, being his years of law enforcement and firefighter. And I'm honored to call him my friend. So with that, I'd ask his wife, Sam, if she would please join me. I have 2 presentations that I'd like to present. One is a certificate of valor presented to Deputy William Bill Smith, an act of heroism and disregard for his own safety. Deputy Smith gave his life to rescue distressed swimmers in the Gulf of Mexico on June the 6th, 2021. These actions were of true bravery, courage, and dedication during extremely dangerous conditions. Presented this day to his widow. Presented this day, the 3rd of August, 2021. Certificate of valor. I have one more presentation to present to Sam. It's a Lifesaver Award presented to Deputy William Bill Smith, for immediate and selfless actions that directly resulted in saving the lives of distressed swimmers in the Gulf of Mexico on June the 6th, 2021. Without his decisive and direct actions, there would have been further tragic loss of human life. Presented August 3rd, 2021. Please congratulate myself.
And Commissioners, I'll read the resolution. In respect of the life and legacy of Baldwin County Sheriff's Office Deputy William Bill Smith, Jr., whereas it is with an overwhelming sense of loss that we mourn the death of Deputy William Bill Smith on June 6, 2021, in the line of duty. And whereas Deputy Smith was born July 8, 1963, and was a native of Alexandria, Alabama, and a resident of Gulf Shores, Alabama. Whereas Deputy Smith's career in public service began as a volunteer fireman while still in high school. He went on to become a paramedic firefighter in DeKalb County, Georgia, where during his 30 years of service, he rose to the ranks to Deputy Chief of Operations, receiving multiple Medals of Honor, Exceptional Merit Awards, as well as Firefighter of the Year. And whereas during his time off from Georgia, Deputy Smith was a fire chief in his hometown of Weaver, Alabama, and was a mentor to countless volunteer firemen, otherwise known as Bill's Boys. Many of them would go on to a professional career in the fire service. And whereas shortly after retirement from the fire service, Deputy Smith began a new career in law enforcement. He was hired by Calhoun County Sheriff's Office and sent to training academy, where he was elected president of his class. With his lifelong love of the beach, Deputy Smith came to Baldwin County Sheriff's Office in 2014, where he played an essential part in starting up the Coastal Patrol Unit serving Fort Morgan. And whereas on June 6, 2021, Deputy Smith responded to a call of swimmers in distress at a Fort Morgan beach, and without any thought of his own safety, entered the tumultuous waters and saved a swimmer from near drowning and death. Deputy Smith selflessly gave his own life in the line of duty. And whereas Deputy William Bill Smith is survived by his wife Samantha K. Smith, 2 sons, William H. Bo Smith III, Michael Jacob Jake Smith, And whereas Deputy Smith loved his family and his department, his co-workers, and believed in always giving his all in everything that he did without hesitation. Now therefore be it resolved by the Baldwin County Commission and regular session assembled that we hereby gratefully commend and publicly recognize Deputy Bill Smith, a true hero, who during the June 6, 2021 rescue event selflessly risked and gave his own life in the line of duty, saving the lives of others and extending our heartfelt sympathy to his family and friends whose grief is shared by many. Be it further resolved that a copy of this resolution recorded in the official minutes of this honorable county and governing body and embodied as Resolution 2021-87 of the Baldwin County Commission is conveyed to the family of Deputy William Bill Smith in sincere gratitude for his valor and his distinguished years of public service to the citizens of Baldwin County, Alabama, which will never be forgotten.
Never forgot.
Chairman, we do have two more presentations, if we would go to those now.
I think what we want to do before we make motions is on those two resolutions is, maybe we want to say a little something. Sure. So, I'm just going to start off. If you don't mind, can we keep that up and I'll bring it back to you? Can we keep it up, or y'all need it for pictures out there? Jimmy, do you mind if we keep it up during the meeting?
Yeah, we'll get it back to you.
I'll get it back. I'll get it back over there. So I just wanted to, first off, by saying, I don't know. I mean, this will probably be the first time I've ever got upset up here, believe it or not. This is probably the most, other than being at the funeral and that stuff, this is the most honorable day I've ever witnessed in this county as a commissioner. We don't like doing stuff like this, but sometimes we have to. This is a big family, in case nobody knows, that we have a small part in the sheriff's office, and we love them like they're ours. We have a small part in all of our employees' days of lives, and we're one big, sometimes they call us a dysfunctional family. But we love each other. We love the sheriff's office and everybody that works for them. And after the Facebook posts and all that stuff started going up, I recognized one that was near and dear to me. And Sydney, you're a hero as well. And it was recognized on there. And your acts, the sheriff made a good comparison at the funeral when he quoted two Bible verses that parallel each other. One is John 3:16, and everybody knows what that one says. That God gave his son for us so we could have eternal life. And John 15:13 says that there's no greater love than to lay down one's life for a friend. It's the same thing. And that's exactly what you did. That's exactly what Deputy Smith did. And I love every single one of you guys back there. You're all heroes in my mind. That's right. You're willing to, there's not a day that I don't drive on these roads or live in my house at night or sit in this, up here at this dais and worry about my safety. because you guys have our backs. Just like you have each other's backs, just like you would have your own family's backs, you would do the same thing for anybody else. And with that, I commend you. And I'm so proud to be a part of this organization. And I'm so proud to be a small part of the sheriff's office and to be able to be a part of these two great resolutions that we just passed today, or we're fixing to pass. So y'all all know I love you guys, and I pray for your safety every single day and night. Because when you wake up, or whatever your shifts are, and you go out and hit the streets, you don't know if you're going to come back home or not. Your families don't know if you're going to come back home or not. There's a whole another level of respect that none of us will ever get unless we're in your shoes. So with that, I appreciate everything you do, and I will pass it on to Commissioner Underwood.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jeff.
I don't hide it. I cry sometimes. And Joey, you didn't help me out this morning when you started it out, but somebody put this box of tissues up here. I don't think they've ever been sitting there before, but I'm thankful they were. And this is at a time that you hate to have a sniffle, because people want to, hit the deck if you have a sniffle. But when your emotions start, you can't really help it. And I was very blessed to attend the service that was held. And I learned so much about your husband and Sydney. Thank you. I'm gonna try not to. I get hot flashes too, so it's all part of emotions right now. There was something that I wanted to say about servant leadership. It's something that I've always tried to do myself, but something that every one of you guys that are out here that are in uniform, and even some of you who are maybe not in uniform because we don't know exactly what you do, but any position that you're in when you're serving other people, you must love your people more than you love your position. And this past Sunday, speaking of the good word, our sermon at my church was on Acts chapter 11, and it was talking about servanthood and how no task is too small. And the very last line of the little commentary, and I actually sent it to a few people, so a couple of you are in this room that I sent it to, but the last line of the little commentary that was in my Bible was a leadership Bible, and it said, you must love your people more than you love your position. And that's what I hear, is that, he didn't take a second thought to not love the people you serve more than you love the position you're in. So I hope that you guys know from deep down how much I appreciate the sacrifice that you've done. And I know what you're still probably have to deal with. And I pray that God will give you the peace and comfort as you continue on. And we thank you, Sydney. And thank all you guys and the family members that are here today. I'm glad I got these tissues. It hasn't started rolling down yet, but it might. But thank you guys so much from the bottom of my heart.
Again, I'd just like to say, I'm so sorry for, your loss, Ms. Smith. And, I know it's trying times, when you're, y'all were such a good couple. And, when you lose a loved one like that, it's very tragic. And, I'll continue with you in my prayers, and because it's going to take a while to get over a trauma like that. And Deputy Whitworth, I just want to thank you so much for being there, and you're putting your life in line to help someone else. That's what our sheriff's department and all of our people in law enforcement, that's what they do every day of the week. They love it, else they wouldn't be doing it. you know, there's all the stuff that's going around in this country today, and especially in the United States. It's very disheartening to see what's going on, you know, how the disrespect for our law enforcement. You know, y'all are there to serve the public, and y'all are doing it, and people just don't understand that, and it's heart chilling, you know, just to think of what's going on, where we're heading. But one thing, during the funeral, there was a post on the thing, and I don't know if y'all remember seeing this, but when in possession on the road, there was a big, looked like an angel was following Bill. You know, that was really, I mean, you couldn't have asked for nothing, you know. I said, golly, I couldn't believe it. You know, it makes you want to cry, you know, seeing that. I mean, but, you know, the good Lord is with him, you know, and he's with y'all family. So I just want to, again, thank you so much for letting him serve, you know, and we're all servants of our people. That's why we do what we do, because we love our people. So thank you all very much. And Deputy Whitworth, again, thank you so very much for your kindness. Mr. Davis.
I echo everything that my colleagues have said. I do want to touch on a couple of things that touch my heart dealing with this. My father was in the Battle of the Bulge. His feet froze. They didn't have their winter gear. And he was awarded Bronze Star and a whole lot of things. But he told me and my brothers that in war, good people and bad people die. And in a way, we're kind of in a war now relative to our tranquility, our public safety, our school systems, our political agendas that are out there. I've told several of you, and I'll say it again, our granddaughter's on the police force in Hoover, Alabama, and I'm so proud of her and what she does. And every one of you know that we have your back. And when we're dealing with the things that are going on in society now, you keep yourself safe and recognize that for every bad guy, there's a whole bunch of good guys that are there to help you. We need to stay out of your way so you can do your job. But we need to support you in every way we can, and we will. And for those that are watching now or later on, it is without a doubt the finest team of people to get things done. Sheriff Halsmack and all of y'all make every one of us, as Jeb said, go to bed at night knowing that we're in good hands. And please share that with the Sheriff Elena, if you would, as well as Major. But it is very difficult to lose someone who epitomized going to the disaster, not running from it. And Officer Whitworth, thank you again. You have many years ahead of you to be successful, and we're all proud of that because we know you will run through the fire. And I'm trying not to be a crybaby, but they're tears of appreciation and thanks. And every one of us needs to make sure that we're trying to do something good for somebody every day. And we promise you, members of the Sheriff's Department, that this commission and all of our staff are behind you 110%. And y'all go forward and take good care of us, and we'll do everything we can to take good care of you. Thank you very much.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I'd like to make a motion that we adopt Resolution 2021/88, commending Deputy Sydney B. Whitworth for her heroic efforts during the June 6, 2021 emergency event with swimmers in distress at Fort Morgan Beach in Baldwin County, Alabama.
We have a motion.
I second the motion.
We have a motion and a second. Any other comments? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. It is unanimous.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
I'd like to make a motion to adopt resolution 2021-87 in respect of the life and legacy of Deputy William H. Smith, Bill Smith, Jr., for his valor and distinguished years of public service to the Baldwin County Sheriff's Office.
I'll second that.
We've got a motion and a second to recognize Officer Bill Smith. Any further discussion or comment? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. It is unanimous. Thank you, Jeb.
I think if it's okay, Chairman, I'd like to do one more standing ovation for these guys before they walk out.
Certainly.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And of course, we moved this to the front out of respect for all of our officers, because while we felt as safe as you could feel in this building, they've got other parts of the county that they need to be looking after, and they'll do a good job of that. Okay, Wayne, if we could, let's continue with our agenda, please.
Mr. Chairman, it's okay. Can we finish you want to finish the rest of the presentations? We also have two more.
Yes, let's go ahead and do those.
Mr. Chairman, next I'm going to call Mr. Cliff McCullum up from the legislative delegation to introduce our two individuals that are getting recognized this morning.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Cliff McCollum, the longest title in all of Baldwin County, the Director of Constituent Services for the Baldwin County Legislative Delegation. Or as I like to say it, I'm from the government and I'm here to help. Today we have two resolutions before y'all honoring the careers and service of two of our members today who have announced that they will not be seeking re-election. Between the two of them, over 50 years of legislative service to the people of Baldwin County. Numerous bills that date back to before I was even born. And getting to work with these gentlemen and for these gentlemen each and every day is a distinct honor. I think their legislative careers and what they have done for the people of this county are very much embodied by one of my favorite quotes from President Theodore Roosevelt, and that is, far and away the best that life has to offer is the chance to work hard at work worth doing. What these gentlemen do for us in Montgomery, what they have done, and what they do for us here in the county, there is not a day goes by that both of these gentlemen do not do everything they can to try to help not just the constituents and the people, but our government, and anything we can do, we try to help. The contacts that they have up there, the number of people who, I mean, to be fair, anybody who knows Coach Shiver is the Kevin Bacon of Alabama. He can connect to anybody in 6 moves or less. He knows everybody. And Representative Mcmillan, if I ever need something from a state agency to try to help one of our folks down here, I just give him a call. Oh, well, call old William up there. He's a friend of mine, and you call, and sure enough, he is. So today we have these two resolutions to honor these gentlemen. Wayne, which one would you like to start with?
We'll start with Representative McMillan first, if
All right,
we could.
Representative McMillan.
This is a resolution commending Representative Stephen A. McMillan for 42 years of service to the citizens of Baldwin County and the state of Alabama as a state representative for House District 95 in his years of distinguished public service. Whereas Representative Stephen A. McMillan was first elected to represent the Alabama House District in 1982 and has subsequently represented that district ever since and has served on numerous committees during his time in office, including the Home House Rules Committee, the County Municipal Government Committee, the Internal Affairs Committee, the Technology and Research Committee, the Ways and Means Education Committee, and as chair of the Baldwin County Legislative Delegation. And whereas he has used his position as a state representative to write and pass meaningful legislation for the people of Baldwin County and the state of Alabama, including creating the Fair Ballot Commission, creating the State Teacher of the Year program, creating the Gulf Shores Orange Beach Tourism Organization, helping to push for lodge at the Gulf State Park, help implement planning and zoning for unincorporated areas of Baldwin County, helped found the Alabama School of Math and Science located in coastal Alabama, helped create the Office of the Baldwin County Revenue Commissioner, helped create the Alabama Coastal Area Erosion Task Force, created the Baldwin County Judicial Commission, created the Home Repair Fraud Criminal Charge, create the concept of historic landmark districts, create the Insurance Fraud Unit of the Department of Insurance, and crafted the Alabama Homeowners Bill of Rights. And whereas Mr. McMillan has also served the Baldwin County Commission, the Baldwin County Community, and state of Alabama in a variety of other roles, including being past president of the Bay Minette Rotary Club, member and past president of the Baldwin County Board of Realtors, member and past president of the Alabama Association of Realtors, member of the Optimist Club of Prudhoe Bay, member of the Southern Regional Education Board, charter member of the first chairman of the Joint Legislative State Parks Oversight Committee, board president of the Alabama School of Math and Science, board member of the Alabama Gulf Coast Convention and Visitors Bureau, member of the North Baldwin Chamber of Commerce, member of the South Baldwin Chamber of Commerce, and member of the Coastal Alabama Business Chamber. And whereas the service and leadership of Representative Stephen McMillan is characteristic of the service and leadership he has shown to the people of Baldwin County throughout his career, both in the private sector and where he has worked for the decades in sales, management, and investment of real estate at his Bay Minette office, McMillan and Associates, and in a more public setting as a longtime state representative. Now, there be it resolved by the County Commission and regular session assembled that the Baldwin County Commission commends and congratulates Representative Stephen A. McMillan on his service and achievement for the Baldwin County, Alabama, and its citizens. Be it further resolved that a copy of this resolution recorded in the official minutes of his honorable county governing body and embodied as Resolution 2021-93 of the Baldwin County Commission be conveyed to Representative Stephen A. McMillan in sincere praise and a small token of appreciation on behalf of all citizens of Baldwin County, Alabama.
Don't worry, I'm not going to filibuster. My recognition pales in comparison to Deputy Smith. I'm pleased to be here and have seen his honored. The other thing is that I think that the people of Baldwin County have given me the opportunity and paid me to do something I really enjoy so much. So there comes a time for everything. This honor and privilege is appreciated, and I thank the citizens of Baldwin County for giving me that opportunity. Thank you very much.
And Commissioner. And Commissioners, we also have a recognition from the ACCA organization. Associated County Commissions.
Gratitude and appreciation to Honorable Stevens. You may send you a bill with this.
Mr. Chairman, next we have a resolution recognizing Coach Shiver, a representative, if I may read that as well. This is a resolution commending Representative Harry Coach Shiver for 16 years of service to the citizens of Baldwin County and the state of Alabama as a state representative for House District 64 in his years of distinguished public service. Whereas Representative Harry Shiver was first elected to represent Alabama House District 64 in 2006 and has subsequently represented that district ever since and has served on numerous committees during his time in office, including the Public Safety and Homeland Security Committee, State Government Committee, the Local Legislation Committee, and the Baldwin County Legislation Committee. Whereas he has used his position as a state representative to write and pass meaningful legislation for the people of Baldwin County and the state of Alabama, including the Volunteer Rescue Squad Tuition Reimbursement Act, creating tax credits for rehabilitating historic structures, creating the Fort Morgan Planning and Zoning Advisory Commission, creating the Women's Tribute State Commission, creating the Rising Historic Landmark District, and pushing through Grandparents' Bill of Rights, which allows grandparents to have access to their grandchildren. And whereas Representative Shiver has also served the Baldwin County community in the state of Alabama in a variety of other roles, including being a former chairman and member of the North Baldwin Chamber of Commerce, member of the Masons and Scottish Rite, panel member of the Juvenile Conference Committee, member of the Board of Directors of the RSVP, chairman of the Patrons of Bayonet Middle School, members of the Mystic Revelers, member of the North Baldwin Search and Rescue Squad, former volunteer for Boy Scouts, former volunteer for the Baldwin County United Way, member of the Fort Mims Historical Society, and has served as Southwest District Director of the Fast Pitch Softball for the Alabama High School Athletic Association. Whereas the service and leadership of Representative Harry Shiver is characteristic of the service and leadership he has shown to the people of Baldwin County throughout his career in education, where he taught at Stockton Junior High School and was a teacher and coach at Bayonet Middle School for 30 years, in a more public setting as a longtime state representative. Now therefore be it resolved by the Baldwin County Commission and regular session assembled, the Baldwin County Commission commends and congratulates Representative Harry Shiver on his service to and achievements for Baldwin County, Alabama, and its citizens. Be it further resolved that a copy of this resolution recorded in the official minutes of this honorable county governing body and embodied as Resolution 2021-93 of the Baldwin County Commission be conveyed to Representative Harry Shiver in sincere praise and as a small token of appreciation on behalf of all the citizens of Baldwin County, Alabama.
I'd like to thank the County Commission for honoring me today. This means a lot to me. I taught school for 32 years. I enjoyed all 32 of them. I taught many kids that are in here now. One is your county commissioner. And we go to Alabama football games and try to enjoy ourselves. But I thank you from the bottom of my heart as to this award. It means a lot to me, and I sure thank y'all.
For those of you exercising, we're getting our steps in today. At least I am.
Mr. Chairman, if you don't mind, I was going to say before we make motions on these, I was going to say a couple of things about these guys as well.
Sure.
Mr. Mcmillan, I appreciate everything that you've done for me. We're in Rotary together, and I can remember when I first announced that I was running for office, you gave me a lot of wisdom and knowledge, and I've learned so much from your leadership. And it's been a pleasure serving with you, and I look forward to you're not totally abandoning us and helping us out if we ever got some questions, because I know you've got a lot of knowledge, and I appreciate your friendship. I appreciate the years that we spent together, learning how to do this together, because it's always been a team effort from up here to connecting with y'all in Montgomery, and I just appreciate the friendship. And to Coach Shiver, like you said, Coach, I think without a shadow of a doubt, I think you led me into what we call becoming a man at some point in time, because and when we were in middle school, that was when we first started getting our real spankings and stuff, and y'all were really good at doing it, and I hate to admit that I may have had a couple of those, but Coach Shiver was our football coach, and even in middle school, they thrived on us to become the best athletes that we could become, and I was never going to make anything out of sports, but they pushed me to the limit. Coach has been like a second father to me for my whole entire life. We do a lot of stuff together, and you'll be greatly missed up there in Montgomery, sir. And I look forward to your future. Look forward to spending some time with you and just chilling out like we used to do. And you're gonna get to enjoy some time off now. So thank you for everything that you've done for Montgomery and this county, and just thank you for your friendship as well, sir.
Wow, I don't even know what all to say. I have so many thoughts going on in my mind. I'm going to start with Representative Mcmillan. I just want to say that I can't even hardly remember back the first time. I think the first time I really got to know you was when you came to some of the Summerdale alumni dinners and some of the things that was going on, excuse me, and when you had married Gail, and knowing that she had been my middle school English teacher, excuse me there, and I just had no really idea until I become elected how important the legislative delegation was to county commissioners, and really what the role of county commissioners were in relation to the state, and how that we need to work so well with you guys. And ever since that my term has started, I still learn stuff every day. I mean, I'm just soaking in as much information, but you've always been so helpful. And the relationships that you've forged over all these years shows because of the success that you have in the tenure that you were there in Montgomery. And it's, nothing wrong with new people coming in, just like us coming in. We were new to the elected position, but it's those knowing people and relationships that you form that are so important. And I know that even though you may not be seeking re-election, that those are not going to go away. You still have some of those relationships that hopefully we can call you and say, hey, tell us who we need to ask about this and that and all. And so I also want to say that all those things that was read, I'm sitting here thinking we might have missed something, man. That's 42 years is a long time. I remember, I remember taking somebody home one time. It was this guy. He has kind of the humor that Cliff has, always got some great humor. And we were in an old pickup truck that my brother owned, and we were going down a dirt road, which is now paved. I believe it's Sanborn. Anyways, we went over this hill and had a bunch of potholes like thing. I guess you can have a pothole in a dirt road, but ruts. And that guy told me, he looked at me and he goes, I think you better back up. I said, why? He goes, I think you missed a few of them holes. So I was thinking when they were reading all that, I'm like, we might have missed something. You've done so many things. But I hope they had everything in there, because whoever wrote it probably really researched it. But we really appreciate all that you've done. Just because you're not going to be in Montgomery, I know you're still going to be around, and I know that you do love your people more than you love your position, and that is always shown for what you did. Now on to Harry, Coach. I know that you didn't coach me, but I remember seeing you referee. So I'm of that era where I remember seeing you running up down the court refereeing basketball, and whenever, I got into this position, and before that, I was like, I recognize him. He was a coach, a referee, and all this kind of stuff. So, but it's also about the same things that I said about Steve. It's those relationships. So many people know you, and that's how you get things done, when you have these relationships with people. And some of the things they read out that you did, the one thing kind of stuck out in my mind was those rights for grandparents. That's big, and it's not always about how many bills you pass, it's how important those bills are that you do pass. And so I just want to thank you. And I know that it's probably one of the hardest decisions that you guys can ever make, is to determine when, you know what, I want to step down and not do this anymore. But I know that you both are going to mentor and help the people that are behind you. One of the things that I've always admired about people who decide that it's time to, enjoy a little bit more than working all the time, maybe, is that you groom somebody to take your spot. And when people don't do that, and the person that comes in is just thrown to the wolves. I mean, y'all got some wolves up there. Cliff's agreeing with me. I know I'm saying something right if Cliff's agreeing with me. Not preaching though, but I can. I just want to say that I appreciate what I'm seeing. I appreciate that you guys are grooming people to help. And I know that it's an election process, and that but you were willing to even give me some advice and things once I got here and all, and how to help get things accomplished, because it truly is a difference between how counties are governed and how municipalities are governed, and we are very dependent upon the legislature to help the county commission because of the authorities that are granted to us. Not granted to us, maybe is a better word to say it, but thank you both from the bottom of my heart. I think I've rambled a little bit, but thank you so much.
I want to echo everything that's been said, and I want to point out that...
Yeah, Commissioner Gruber now.
Excuse me, Skip, my bad.
That's okay.
No. You go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's all right. Steve, me and you've been friends a long time. We go back many years, back when I was a mayor and all this other stuff. And, we're both members of the Optimist Club. And whether you all know it or not, Steve was given the duties of having what we call down there the Grady moments. And what Grady moments are is that Steve actually has to write something or give something about, it's a corny joke or something. And you never would have thought Steve would have done something like that, but he comes up every time with some real good ones, and I think everybody gets a good laugh out of his theories, and I wish he would do one, but he probably got one in his head he could probably do now. But Steve has done so much for this county, and not only this county but a lot of other counties. When you serve 42 years in the House of Representatives in the state of Alabama, you affect a lot of lives throughout everywhere. And I know Steve has got many a friendship in Montgomery, throughout the whole state. You can mention Steve's name. Oh yeah, we know Steve very well. He's very well liked. And like I say, he's done a lot. If you look at his accomplishments on the boards that he's served on, not only that, a lot of the legislation that he has created here for Baldwin County throughout his career is astonishing, but Steve, I appreciate it, and I look forward to still continue our friendship and working with you later on some other projects. And thank you for your service, and it takes a long time to do that. Coach, we go back a ways too. I had a daughter that played basketball, and Coach, he was the referee for just about everywhere. I mean, not only just basketball, he did softball and all that also. So, I mean, he was, all around, just a good person to love kids, and was always interested in bringing stuff to those and helping them learn learned a sport and do a great job, and Representative Sharper was always there to help him, and I know they miss you refereeing now, but that was a big task that you had to do. You ran all over the whole county, not just just one area. You refereed throughout the whole county, and appreciate that. You giving your time up for those kids, and also again, thank you for the stuff that you've done in Montgomery. It takes good representatives to make Baldwin County as great as it is, and I think we've had over the years, we've had some pretty good representation up there. So congratulations on your retirement, and look forward to working with you on some other things in the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Skip. Being the lone member up here that's not a native of the county, I can tell you that these two gentlemen's careers and actions spread much further north than they might even realize. Having grown up in Clark County, being able to look at legislation and who was causing things to happen in Montgomery. And the Mcmillan family name came up often. And those of us that were trying to do economic development and other things in the rural county knew that in Baldwin County, they had a definite ally, both for them and for the southwest part of Alabama. So, Steve, I want to tell you that when I was asked to consider pursuing the county seat, you were one of two names that I was told you better get to know him, you better listen to him, and I'd suggest you read. And what I did was go back and follow your history early on, and I want to tell you how much we appreciate it as citizens of Baldwin County, and you helped us in more ways than you might realize, and I want to thank you so much for that. Now, Coach Sharper, Coach and I have known each other through the sporting arena from years back as well, and he had a teammate at then Livingston, now West Alabama, from my hometown, Buddy Sanders. And Buddy Sanders told me about this long-legged, lanky son of a gun from down in Baldwin County named Harry Shiver. And then it wasn't too many years later, we crossed paths dealing with some of the high school sports. And as you said, Skip, I don't know what any sports that he didn't touch, because the ones that we were dealing with, I ran into him a lot. We became good friends, and he and his good buddy, who's looking down on us now, Charlie's looking down, and we had some fun times together. For those of you that don't know, Coach Shiver, and he probably can now, but he was, and I think probably still is for his age. Us older ones have to throw that in there. He's a very accomplished athlete himself and a heck of a golfer. And if you want to put a nickel on a shot, be ready to lose a couple of nickels, because he was good then, and I think he's probably good now. And we're going to get to do some more of that, Coach. But thank you again for your service to the county and in Montgomery. And when we would go to Montgomery early on in this capacity, and even when I was on the city council, both y'all's names would come up as, oh yeah, here's this, yeah, we're working on some projects and such. So thank you for what you've done, and thank you for being available to help us get some more things done. And I know you'll help, and we'll call on you. So thank you very much, and look forward to a good time when you're not making that trip to Montgomery on a certain schedule, and enjoy your time. And thank you so much for your service. Okay? All right.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we adopt Resolution 2021-93, the recognition of Representative Steve Mcmillan.
I'll second that.
Got a motion and a second. Any further discussion or comment? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Chairman, I make a motion we adopt resolution number 2021-094 and in recognition of Representative Harry Shiver.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to recognize Coach Shiver. Any further discussion or comment? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, fellas. And I think we must have covered it pretty well because they didn't give any parting shots. So thank you, guys. Thanks. All right, Wayne, what we got next?
Mr. Chairman, we'll go down to the meat of the agenda. So the first actions are the administration items, and I do want to make one note on BA5. We do have the replacement item for the lease agreements in there. So, Mr. Chairman, staff recommends approval of BA1 through BA5 under administration items.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to approve the items under administration BA1 through BA5. Any further discussion or comment? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. It's unanimous. Yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman, next are the three items for archives and history, BC1 through BC3. Staff recommends approval of those three items.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
All right. Got a motion and a second to approve the items archives and history BC1 through BC3. Any further comment or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Mr. Chairman, next are the Baldwin Regional Area Transit System, BRATS items. We have three of those. Want to make note on BD3. There is an attachment for C in the agreement, so that's attached to your item. Staff recommends approval of BD1 through BD3.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
All right, got a motion and a second to approve items BD1 through BD3. Any further comment or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Mr. Chairman, next is budget and purchasing. We have 9 items, BE1 through BE9. Staff recommends approval of those 9 items.
So moved.
We've got a motion and a second to approve items under budget and purchasing, BE1 through BE9. Any further discussion or comments? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Chairman, we have 1 item under Communications Information Systems, CIS, BH1. Staff recommends approval of that 1 item.
So moved.
We've got a motion
Second.
and a second to approve items under Communication Information Systems, CIS, BH1. Any further discussion or comment? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Mr. Chairman, we have 1 item under elected officials. This is for the District Attorney's Office. This is BJ1 regarding a grant for the Edward Byrne Memorial Justice Assistance Grant. Staff recommends approval of that item.
Chairman, make a motion we approve item number BJ1.
Second.
We've got a motion and a second to approve elected officials items BJ1. Any further discussion or comment? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman, we have 1 item under environmental management. That is BL1 regarding the gas to energy project. Staff recommends approval of that item.
Chairman, make a motion we approve item number BL1.
All right, we have a motion
Second.
and a second to approve item BL1 under environmental management. Any further discussion or comment? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Yes.
Chairman, next are the highway items. We do have 1 to remove. The county engineer has requested to remove BN9, so we will move that to a different date. With that being said, Mr. Chairman, staff recommends approval of BN1 through BN8.
So moved.
All right, we've got a motion under highway topics. Do I hear a second?
Second.
We've got a motion and a second to approve highway topics BN1 through BN8. Any further discussion or comment? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. It's unanimous. Yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman, next are personnel. We do have 1 item to remove at the request of the personnel director, BQ2. So, Mr. Chairman, with that being said, staff recommends approval of BQ1 and BQ3 under personnel.
So moved.
All right, we've got a motion and a second, I believe, on personnel items BQ1 and BQ3. Any further discussion or comments? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman, we have 3 items under planning and zoning, BR1 through BR3. Staff recommends approval of those 3 items.
So move.
We have a motion and a second to approve items under planning and zoning, BR1 through BR3. Any further discussion or comment? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman, you've already covered the presentations, so we'll move down to public hearings. We do have one public hearing. This is for case number LV-202102, alcohol license applications for the Dallin Corp. LLC, doing business as Dollar General on Highway 31 in Daphne.
All right.
Mr. Chairman, we need to open public hearing.
All right, we'll bring the public hearing motion forward. Do you have anyone signed up to speak?
Mr. Chairman, I do not have anyone signed up to speak.
Okay. Anyone in the audience? All right. We'll close the public hearing portion of case VL 202102.
Mr. Chairman, make a motion that we approve item number case number BLV-202102, alcoholic license application.
All right, we've got a motion and a second on DA1 case LV 202102. Any further discussion or comments? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman, next is the payment of the bills.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we pay bills totaling $16,104,968.85, with the exception of those vendors commissioners requested to be pulled, which at this time are none. Of this amount, $11,468,626.93 is payable to the Baldwin County Board of Education, and $709,789.65 is payable to the Gulf Shores Board of Education for their portion of the county sales and use tax.
We have a motion from the finance chairman. Do I hear a second?
Second.
We've got a motion and a second to pay payment of the bills EA1. Any further discussion or comments? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. It's unanimous.
Mr. Chairman, next is the notification of interim payments, and the staff recommendation is to make the attached interim payments made by the clerk treasurer totaling $44,947,420.50 and make that part of the record. Mr. Chairman, that brings us down to the discussion items. As you may recall from the work session, we had several items to discuss. I don't think any of those require action today. I do want to...
Not if... Oh, never mind. Never mind.
The notification of payments are just part of the record. Mr. Chairman, so the discussion items, there are no action required today on the discussion items. I do want to make note that there are some agenda items forthcoming. As we discussed, the dragon boat racing at the Live Oak Landing on behalf of North Baldwin Chamber of Commerce will be coming at a future meeting, and also we'll be updating the commission on the strategic plan at a future meeting. Then also regarding the Restore Act funds, we'll be bringing back a recommendation to the commission also at a future meeting. And commissioners, that brings us down to the commissioners' requests.
I don't have any, sir.
Skip, got any requests? I have no request either. So let's go to, do we have addenda?
Mr. Chairman, we discussed one at the work session. That will be forthcoming at a future meeting.
All right. So then we, HA1, is that?
That's what we just...
Yes, sir.
That's what we just
That was
covered.
regarding the mental health court, and the delegation has allocated money for that, and so we'll, at the August 17th meeting, we'll have an agenda item with that agreement in place.
Okay, so that was the addenda item there. Okay, what about an administrative report?
We do have an agenda item there just to accept the funds and the agreement for the...
I'm sorry. Yep. I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman. So yes, we need to accept the funds today. My apologies.
I make a motion that we accept the funds from the Baldwin County Legislative Delegation on item HA1.
We've got a motion. Do I hear a second?
I'll second that.
Got a motion and a second to approve item HA1 dealing with acceptance of funds from the Baldwin County Legislative Delegation. Any further discussion or comment? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
And Mr. Chairman, at the August 17th meeting, we'll have that funding agreement for the commission to adopt.
Very good. Duly noted.
Mr. Chairman, I don't have an administrative report.
All right, county attorney's report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. 2 matters for executive session, so just kick it back to me when you reach the end of the agenda.
All right. public comments. Do we have members of the public wishing to make comments? Hearing or seeing none. Press questions. Anybody from the media here that has a question or comment? Seeing none. Okay, we've got commissioner comments. Jeb?
I've covered just about all you could cover today. I did want to reach out to our staff and say thank you like Commissioner Gruber always does, but I wanted to especially tell thanks to Joey for kind of setting the tone for the meeting today. I mean, that good, heartfelt, just raw emotion right there that is, I think, what we needed today. So I appreciate that. I'm sorry for our loss, more close to you than us, but definitely part of our family in the area 200. So just please talk to his family, let them know that we're praying and constantly in prayer. So thanks, Joey, for that, and thanks everybody else.
Good job.
Again, echo thanks always to our staff. Our staff is our bloodline here. They really help us get everything done. And there's been a lot of sadness throughout lately, and I just wanted to remind everybody that we need to focus on continuing on. It's sometimes when we feel like we're in our I think molly grubs, we just want to dig deep and say, you know what, we got to be strong for the people who are still here. And so I appreciate everybody, and I just want to echo that I love the people more than I love my position. And I love that I've found that in that commentary, and I hope that just because I say it, that I do mean it. Thank you, guys.
Skip, I don't want to miss you this time, so
Again, thank all the staff, for what they do and getting us ready for this meeting and everything. And on the sad moment, Joey informed us last night that Mr. Brian Tackett had passed away, and my heartfelt feelings go out to his family. It's tragic when you have somebody like that. It's part of our family, and it's hard when you lose somebody like that. He was a good guy, and we just wish his family the very best, and hope that they can get some closure with what's happened. And again, thank the Sheriff's Department for all the stuff that they do. It's today, with all that was presented today, I think that is one very strong partnership, with themselves and the public. So I just want to thank them so very much for what they do. And that's all my comments.
all right. My wife and I have a magnet with a saying on it on our refrigerator, and I see it every day. And it's a quote from Helen Keller. And it says, "The best and most beautiful things cannot be touched or even said. They must be felt with the heart." And I want to tell all the members of our team, and I mean all the members of our team, what an honor it is to serve here in the capacity that we've been chosen, because we're just part of a great team. And we need to remind our citizens of that. And I want to thank each and every one of you, and you pass it on to your people in your department, that we're trying to represent you, and you're representing your area, and to promote Paradise in terms of its safety, its progress, its connectivity, and all the things that can move us forward. Because the only agenda I sense up here is that as we get bigger, we need to try to get better at everything we do. And we genuinely approach things that way. So thank you again for the opportunity. And let's all try to do good things and right things the right way for the right reasons. And thank you very much. And I'll entertain a motion to go to our attorney. Look at here, I almost messed up, didn't I?
Good save, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman and Commissioners, I would recommend you adopt a motion, excuse me, to adjourn this meeting and convene an executive session to discuss with your attorneys the legal options for pending litigation, controversies not yet being litigated but imminently likely to be litigated, or imminently likely to be litigated if the governmental body pursues a proposed course of action. So after the motion and the second, I need to make a little statement on the record.
Certainly.
Make a motion, Mr. Chairman.
We have a motion to support and a second, referencing our legal attorney's recommendation. And Brad, if you would lead us into that section, please.
I'm an attorney licensed to practice law in the state of Alabama, and this exception is applicable to the plan discussion. And then call for a vote, Mr. Chairman, and after the vote, just announce that we will not reconvene.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye. 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 It's unanimous, and we will not reconvene. We will exit from our executive session. Thank you all very much.